I am Nick Shell, and all I ever talk about is hair loss and buzz cuts and balding and all these great things on this channel, not in real life. But on this channel, in this version of reality, all I ever talk about are these things. I have to make a video for this one comment because it made me laugh. All right, so I made a video called Zero Guard Buzz Cut. No more Mr. Nice Guy being bald by choice. And I think it was a very important video for anyone who watches my videos or subscribes. I think it's very much a milestone video because I talk about the power of choosing to be bald even if you don't have to, because if you can still have hair up here. But that choice, that's a powerful choice. So Brock81, we got to talk about Brock81 for a moment. I have to admit, in being a YouTuber, if you are a YouTuber with a decent amount of followers, it gets a little bit hazy sometimes in understanding the difference between a troll and someone who's honestly a fan of your videos. Sometimes it gets a little bit hazy because it seems like there's this paradox in which it seems like it's negative commentary and it's like they're trying to insult you every time they leave a comment, but they watch all your videos and they comment on all your videos. So ultimately it's like, well, that's more dedication than just a troll. Maybe they really do like what I do. And so, you know, hey, I take it all. If you're taking the time to watch my videos and comment on them, by default, you're a fan, even if you only say things that seem very negative. I interpret that as you are a fan of me. You spend time out of your day to watch my videos and comment on them. Ultimately, I can't see you as a troll. I got to see you as a fan. So Brock81 is a fan. He follows me on both of my channels. Anyway, here's the comment he left on Zero Guard Buzz Cut. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Brock81, quote, "You'll grow your hair back when your wife tells you to. Let's be real. You want to convince us that your wife doesn't wear the pants in the family. Grow a mohawk," end quote. So the reason I laughed about that is because obviously Brock81 is saying, your wife basically tells you what to do, and we all know you're going to do whatever she says. But then at the end, he tells me what to do, grow a mohawk. So that's obviously funny. I see the humor in that. But I do also want to talk about this concept. So I recognize that probably most of my viewers are single and younger than me. And I regularly want to acknowledge that because it's, you know, in theory, easy for a guy who's already married nearly 10 years and has 2 kids to say, hair doesn't matter, especially when I can still grow so much hair if I wanted to. And, you know, maybe that's a disconnect if you're 23 and single and, you know, but again, if you get rid of your hair, even if you look older, that's an attractive trait to many women. Plus it shows that you're more confident and all that good stuff. I still say it's an advantage, even though you may not look as young in the same way as other guys your age. I say use it to your advantage. Find a way to make it work to your advantage. But ultimately, imagine this though. Imagine that you're all, I guess there's irony and a paradox in here for me. I always see paradoxes in so many things. But imagine that if you're young, you're thinking, well, I need hair so that I can get the girl. So even then, it's almost like the concept of, well, okay, well, who's wearing the pants in this relationship? I must have hair to get the girl. Whereas for me, whether or not I have hair, I already have the girl and I want to make sure that she is happy living with me, right? So yeah, obviously to some degree, when you're a married man, or even if you have a girlfriend that you're trying to keep, you're obviously going to want to do certain things to make sure that you keep it. But in the end though, what I see is there that much difference between trying to get the girl, because you have to do all these things, as far as who's wearing the pants, well, you're going to have to do certain things to try to make this person even attracted to you, versus you already have the girl and you have to do all these certain things to make sure that you keep them happy. In the end, I don't see a lot of difference, ultimately. So this concept of who's wearing the pants, once you've been in a relationship for a while, you realize that ultimately, it's not like you make all the decisions anymore. Obviously, she's going to make certain decisions about your life, and probably you're going to make decisions that affect her life. And that's what a relationship is all about. So I just wanted to make this video to point out to me what's pretty obvious. We can say as a married man, I have to do whatever it is to make my wife happy. But I say, ultimately in the end, as a man who's been married for nearly 10 years, I think that there's more compromise you make as a single guy trying to please this ocean of potential dates and girlfriends or whatever it is. I think you have to sacrifice more to please all these potential women than to please just one woman who you already know, and you can very much more figure out here's what she wants, here's what she doesn't want, and go according to that. That's easier than trying to navigate through this ocean of all these other women. That's what I say. I say I've got it easier as far as this wearing the pants concept. I think that part is easier for me. I mean, wouldn't you agree? If you already know exactly what your girl wants, instead of trying to figure out potentially, how do I attract these girls? How do I attract this girl? This girl, would she want me to have hair? Would she like me better without hair? What? As for me, I already got that figured out. So I feel much more comfortable, however we want to put it, whether my wife wears the pants or not. Of course, I know it's not that way. And it's not, in real life, a way a relationship actually works is it's a constant compromise. It's a constant, you are losing parts of your own identity to make that person happy, and they're doing the same for you. That's what a healthy relationship is all about. And I think that's part of the problem is when you're single, you don't think of it that way. You're just trying to get a girl to begin with. Well, what good is that if you can't keep the girl? Like, it's a pathetic concept to get a girl and then, okay, I'm tired of her, let me move on. That's like on the wedding singer with Sammy, how he's like 40 years old wearing that red leather jacket in the bar and saying, I wish I just had someone to hold me and tell me it's gonna be okay. So ultimately, obviously, if you're going to be in a relationship that leads anywhere, then yeah, it's about compromising in the relationship. And I think that is much less of a sacrifice than trying to please an ocean of potential women. And I still say, even if you're younger than me, and you have less hair than me, and your hair bothers you that much, I still say get rid of it. I still say embrace the baldness, reinvent yourself, use that to your advantage, because most guys your age are not. Most guys who are older than you and have more hair than you don't have what it takes to do this. If your hair loss bothers you, get rid of the problem. Get rid of the hair. I'm Nick Shell, and all I ever talk about is hair loss on this channel.